right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, B'chah HaKadosh, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to you sincere and hopeful elect Akim, pushing the word of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, in spirit and in truth. All right, shalom to B'chad, Shalayashim, which is to say 1/3, Ma'arabai a lot, which is to say 144,000. Also, Shalom to Sha'aryath, which is 1/3, and Remnant, Sha'aryath Remnant, and Bakayarim, which is elect. All right. So those is some important numbers and important categories, so to say, to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that we as men of the Lord are striving to be a part of. Because that's what the Lord is gonna deliver, all right, in these last days. So this lesson was inspired by a lesson that the elder Yasharamba did. I believe it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. It might have been the News and Prophecy. And in the lesson, there's a precept that he grabbed in Isaiah, which I have it queued up here as well. And it just got me to thinking about how important and special the nation of Israel is to the Heavenly Father. And like the Apostle Tahar mentioned in this past week's live stream on Saturday, it's really only about the elect. You know, the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai ultimately, okay, which the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai are included in that elect number. And you know, pretty much all the hell we have caught here in Babylon as Israelites, in return, that remnant that is important to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is pretty much gonna be delivered, but in just like with militaries, you might have a POW on both sides, and they swap POWs out. They have a prisoner swap, so to say. So give us this guy because he's valuable to us, and we'll give you this guy because he's valuable to you. Now what the Heavenly Father is going to do is gather his elect. But as the scriptures say, the 2/3 as well as all the heathen that's here, in return for that, for what they've done, they got to be sacrificed. You know, they got to be sacrificed. Okay. So I just want to pretty much edify on that with a couple scriptures, because that, you know, that has been something I've been thinking about. So here in Isaiah 45 and verse 4, it reads, for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. All right, now when you go into the historical context of this verse here, this is talking about Cyrus. Because up here in verse 1, Cyrus is called he's called the anointed, all right, of the Heavenly Father. All right, and he's the only heathen that was ever mentioned in the scriptures as being anointed. Okay, And really, he was only called that because he was going to bring about the deliverance of the Israelites from under the Babylonians. Okay? So Cyrus, all right, which I believe he was a Mede, either a Persian or a Mede, when they came into power, that represented the end of our captivity under the Babylonians. So that's why he was referred to as the anointed. Okay? But the point being that the Heavenly Father said that Israel is his elect. Okay? When you look that word up, elect there, in the Hebrew is Bachayar. Alright? So we are the chosen nation to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Out of all the 18 nations, out of all nations on the planet Earth, the Lord has one chosen nation, and that nation is the nation of Israel. Alright? Now, here in Isaiah 43, and verse 4, it says, "Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life." And this is what the elder Yashawamba had read. So one, we already established that Israel is the chosen nation, the elect nation. And now the Heavenly Father is going into how we, the nation of Israel, you know, are precious in his sight. Okay? Honorable in his sight. Okay? And that he will give people for us, give men for thee. So in the NLT it says, "Others were given in exchange for you. I traded their lives for yours." And this has happened in the past, and it's going to happen all over again in this time that we're living in. So when these people here in America are left here to feel the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, to swim in the lake of fire, that's the Heavenly Father giving men for us. In exchange, I'm taking my chosen, and these people is going to be sacrificed in that process. Okay? All these heathens here in America is going to be sacrificed in that process of our deliverance. Alright? It says that I traded their lives for yours because you are precious to me. You are honored, and I love you. Alright? So the Lord loves the nation of Israel. And at this point in time, he loves his elect. His remnant. His 1/3, 144,000. Alright? All of the above. Verse 5 in the KJV, it says, "Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather them from the west." So no matter where the elect are scattered, the Most High, by way of the chariot of Yahushai, is gonna, just like it says in Matthew, which I believe Elder Yashawamba had read that as well, Matthew 24 and 31, I believe, 31 or 34, somewhere around there, that, you know, the Lord is going to send his angels to deliver his elect from the four corners. So no matter where the elect is, they will be extracted from the earth, because the conditions on the earth, once those missiles touch down, is not going to be bearable. All right, you see how devastating that earthquake was in Venezuela, or those two earthquakes, man. You got thousands of bodies, thousands of people dead, man. Okay, the last time I checked, it was 1,400, which that's just what was recovered, but it's still bodies being recovered. So that thing are probably gonna be in the tens of thousands when it's all said and done, man. So how much more devastating will the condition of the whole earth be? How much rubble, how much destruction brought to buildings and structures, infrastructure, derailed over as a result of thermonuclear missiles hitting various continents, man. All right, which is why, once again, the elect got to be delivered from off the face of the earth to not partake in that judgment. All right, so verse 6, it says, I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. All right. So the Lord, he ain't playing about his chosen. That's how precious his chosen is to him. That despite us being prisoners, as the scriptures say, the captive exile hasteneth to be loosed. So we desire to be delivered, man. We desire to be freed from Esau's control, so to say, his captivity, his governance, as well as be delivered from these chains of darkness, right? Verse 7, it says, even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. So we were created for the Heavenly Father's glory. We weren't created for Esau's glory, for his giant science experiment and, the ghetto and government assistance, government aid, all right, medications, surgeries and all this shit that Esau, does to our people. We weren't created for that, man. We were created for the Heavenly Father's glory, which is why the Heavenly Father is going to deliver us, Abaratazah, so that way we can serve him. Just how during the time of ancient Egypt, the Most High wanted us to be freed from Pharaoh's bondage, so that way we can go out to the wilderness and sacrifice to him. Okay? It's going to be the same thing in these times, man. We're going to be able to, sacrifice to Yahweh Shem Yahushai freely, all right, righteously, unhindered, all right. Finishing up off verse 7, it says, I have formed him, yea, I have made him. So it's the Heavenly Father that made us, not Esau Edom. Okay, Esau Edom didn't create us, didn't make us. We're not his property, all right? We don't belong to him. We belong to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? Now, grabbing my last precept. This will be Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 6, which reads, the sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. Salakia, I'm tripping. Let me start up. I'm going to start at verse... I'm going to start at verse 1. All right, so this is Isaiah 34 and 1. It says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and to and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein. All right, because this devastation is going to affect the whole planet. It says the world and all things that come forth of it. All right, so everything is going to be affected by that thermonuclear destruction. It says, for the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. So all these militaries is on the shit list of the Heavenly Father. All right, all these militaries are on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's hit list, which is why they're all going to be mustered together in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, aka Saudi Arabia, to duke it out amongst themselves, and then ultimately get destroyed by the chariots, the angels of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, when they pull up. Okay, it says, for the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Okay, so none of these armies is going to be victorious standing against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai in due time. All right. It reads verse 3. Excuse me. It says, "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." Okay, so you're gonna have millions of dead military individuals. All right, dead soldiers all over the place, which is why in Ezekiel 38 it goes into how you're gonna have certain men severed out for continual employment to gather up those dead bodies and bury them. That's going to be their sole objective, is to bury those dead bodies. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. All right, dealing with these missiles, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So Esau's whole structure that he's built is going to be totally destroyed. All right, and you're going to have mushroom clouds all over the place from those missiles going off. Okay, it says, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. Going into the fashion in which those missiles is going to drop. All right, because it's an arc in fashion in which those intercontinental ballistic missiles is shot. They're shot from just like a basketball. You shoot a 3-point shot, it's like a rainbow. It's like an arc in fashion. All right, that's how those missiles is going to drop, going from one continent to the next. Verse 5, it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So Esau's cursed, right? So going back into what I was reading when I started the lesson in Isaiah, you're gonna have people left here to fill those missiles, man. The 2/3, all right, Shana, Shalayashim, which is 2/3, as well as the heathen, the Gawayim and the Gawaryim, all right, the nations and the heathen. Gawaryim, nations, and the Gawayim, which is the heathens. All right, so those that's left here in America is that the individuals that the Most High is going to give for us in exchange. So I'm taking my chosen right leg, extracting them from Babylon the Great, all right, the 1/3 from Babylon the Great, and the elect, the 144,000, and the remnant from all over the world, including the Babylon the Great, extracting them, and then those left in Babylon is going to feel that fire, all right, Because this is Idumea. This is the Basra, America, the capital, the chief principal city of Esau, Edom. So everything here is going to be sacrificed, all right, pertaining to people. All right? Because this place is cursed for the Most High's judgment, which is why it's going to be, and which it is known as the valley, the lake of fire. All right? Yom Ma'ash. All right? Yom, which is water. Ma of Ash, fire. All right, it says the sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh had the sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Okay? So, the Most High loves His chosen, His elect. He's going to deliver His chosen, His elect from off the planet in due time. In this place, America, and all these heathens, and 2/3 will be a sacrifice, man. So, I just want to edify on that. Abaratazah. This has been an edifying lesson. Till next time I say shalom.